Hi, my name is Cherry, and I'm going to talk about the energies. This is an energy update. So we're in the middle of Taurus season. Taurus, what is Taurus? So when you see you're in the desert, which I am right now, and you see one of those huge rocks that will not be moved, not even a truck can move it. It needs heavy gear, heavy equipment to move that rock. That is actually Taurus. Taurus is that it's a rock that will not move. So a couple things about that. In a way, you can see it as something bad. You can be like, oh, this is blocking my view, or I want to build a house here. Why is this fucking rock here? How do we get it out? That can be stubborn Taurus energy, right? But in a different way, it's so reliable. Eons will pass and that rock will be there. And that is if you live in a place your whole life and then you come back years later, a lot of times the landscape has really changed, or the feel of the immediacy of the road has changed. But then you see the rock and you're like, oh, that it is. I know where I'm at. So I made that analogy because Taurus is the energy of stability, is the energy of steadiness. So sometimes people are like, oh, Tauruses are stubborn. Yeah, they're a fixed earth sign. So every sign, there's fire, water, air, and earth. And each of those four elements have three modalities. So there's cardinal, meaning directing the energies. It go here, go there. Mutable, which is energy shifts and moves, adaptable. And then there's fixed, which is Taurus is fixed earth. So we're in that season right now. What does that mean? What does this rock thing translate to life? Well, this is a season where people tend to be thinking more about money, material possessions, or it's not about money itself, even though it's a Taurus theme. But think of it this way. We think of money not because we want money. We don't do anything with green paper. We really don't. As humans, as animals in this world, we don't do that. But we do things with shelter, food, and just the capability of accessing more things that we may really enjoy. So that's what money brings. So when people talk about money, what we're talking about in reality is that thing that will grant me access to all of these things that my body actually needs. So that's why Taurus is related to, money, but in reality is the body. It's the house we inhabit in. There's one thing that's fixed on our presence on earth, is that we are in the same body until we die. So that is the house we dwell in, and that is Taurus. Taurus is the body. We dwell here. And anything that is valuable for you. In astrology, Taurus is anything that gives you value. So in my case, I value quality time, eating on time, peeing when I need to, and not lingering and forgetting to, just tending to my body in a natural way, and being surrounded by love, friends, and family. All of this to say, this is the season where we're focusing on those things. So if you don't have stability, Taurus season is kind of spanking your ass, how are you going to gain this stability? So it's not surprised that in Taurus season, people are thinking, how do I make more money? What kind of businesses can I start? Spring is started, Aries season passed already, the flowers sprung, and now we got over the allergies, and now we're okay, life is in motion. Where to? How do we survive? So that is the vibe. But this Taurus season is very unique because we have Mercury retrograding in Taurus. We have, what does that mean? It's Mercury, how you think, reviewing, retrograding, retro, going back and reviewing. So your brain, your thoughts, the way you communicate is going through this revisiting ideas in Taurus. So if you're why can't I stop thinking about money? Why can't I stop thinking about wanting this house? Or why can't I stop thinking about material stuff? Or you feel a little shaking about your own stability. It's because it's Taurus season. It's because Mercury is doing its its thing in Taurus and Gemini too a little bit. We'll talk about that. So it's a little bit intense. It's okay. It's okay. We just went through 2 eclipses that were very heavy. 420 and Cinco de Mayo. Like our parties were ruined. Like all of the like the moments we were like, whoa. I know that in 420, my friends were not like, let's. They were all like, what the fuck is going on? And it's because there was a very heavy eclipse in Taurus and Scorpio. The last time the eclipses happened in Taurus and Scorpio, the last time this big ending happened this way specifically was 19 years ago. So it's not a minor thing. Scorpio is a very intense sign. Right now, as we speak, we're in the full moon in Scorpio. There was an eclipse with a south node of karma. So it's like things that we brought from past lives, even if you consider past lives to be like, when I was in college, I feel like that's a past life of mine. You know, like you don't even have to believe in past lives. To me, that is an era of my life where that's a past life. When I was with this boyfriend, that was a past life. Like I'm not there, that's not my life anymore. So all these past lives, something from your past life you brought in the way you like merge with others and the way you relate to others, that's like needs to die. And the planets are saying, time is now. You need to let it go. How is it manifesting for you? What happened between 420 and 5-5 where you're like, shit, this has been heavy. What are those themes? Those are things that you're concluding. Those are things that are asking you, please let me go. It's no more of this. So, you know, depending on your chart, it may be in different aspects of your life, but in general, it has to do with how you relate to another person in your psyche. So it's a little abstract. So that's why it feels muddy and murky and strange. Second thing, Pluto, very far away planet. It's not even a planet anymore. We thought, you know, like it's there. It's still there affecting us. In a human lifetime, Pluto only goes through 5 signs. So like you live to 100 and you might see Pluto go do this much of the full wheel, this much, about this much, or this. That is very little. That planet takes a long time to twirl around, you know? So any movement that Pluto does, it's felt massively as a society. Pluto, it's also the ruler of the underworld. Think of how far that planet is, how long it takes for the energies, like the megahertz and its mass that it's emitting. It's alive, it's emitting an energy, just like the Earth is emitting the Schumann resonance. Each of the planets have a resonance. That resonance is hitting us just as much as ours is hitting their, you know, orbit. Pluto's megahertz and vibes take all those light years to hit us. And it moves so slowly. But when it does something, when Pluto's like next to another planet, we get receiving that both of those energies at once, it tends to be heavy. It's as if Pluto's vibe all the way far away in the universe was like, it's dark. It's as if that vibe from over there, those megahertz, are extracting some dark shit from that angle where it's hitting. So Pluto just entered Aquarius. Aquarius is a sign of technology, AI, anything that has to do with laws, community. Well, not laws themselves, but like the way the community thinks of itself, relates to each other, and interacts with each other in words and how they think of that. The internet, that is Aquarius. The internet is Aquarius. So technology is Aquarius. So when you mix the internet technology with Pluto, which is like dark underworld vibes, boom, the moment Pluto entered Aquarius, suddenly all that AI stuff, all these discussions, AI is being used to like pretend they're Drake singing I Spice. AI is being used to scam parents thinking that their kids have been kidnapped. Like, and this is only the beginning of Pluto in Aquarius. This is going to be 20 years of Pluto in Aquarius. On May 1st, so Pluto entered Aquarius, we saw a snippet of what it was going to be about, and then immediately started retrograding. It's going back to Capricorn. Whatever lessons we learned during 2020 and the From 2008, market crash. That's when Pluto entered Capricorn. Capricorn, social structures. Pluto, underworld. Pluto entered Capricorn, the market crashed, 2008. 15 years later, we have a global pandemic. Pluto wasn't still in Capricorn, but it met with Saturn. Saturn is like laws, rules. So we knew there was going to be a breakdown of society. It began in 2008. Pluto did its thing in Capricorn. It broke down a lot. Me Too, Black Lives Matter, Hollywood So White. Like, and this is just America. We're not even talking about, you know, and now it's entered Aquarius. We saw the themes. Now it's going back to Capricorn. This is the very last time we're going to see the underworld planet in the social structures. Just hang tight. From June 2023 to January 2024 or March 2024, Pluto is doing one last little stripe on Capricorn. So don't be surprised if from June 2023 to the rest of 2023, you're going to feel like in 2020. You're going to feel like, why is this coming back? Why do I feel this icky feeling of like lockdown? I wouldn't be surprised if we get a lockdown, but I don't want to declare that because I don't know, because Saturn is doing something else. Oh, the reason I'm not surprised if there's a lockdown is because Saturn is in Pisces. Pisces is health. Saturn is restrictions. There might be a theme, but I don't know. Anyway, it's heavy. It's okay. From 2020 and 2021 was the breakdown of what we knew. Now we are in the rubble. 2022, 2023 has been a lot of like, oh, 2022, I think, was just clearing that out to see what we can build. And now in 2023, we're starting to build, but we're like not equipped. We are like, what is the blueprint? Why are we so confused? And it's like, yeah, we're meant to sit with it and meditate a little bit on what we're going to build next. For June, starting, but don't fret, May 19th, 2023, retrograde, it's softer. We're out of eclipse season. We're done learning the lessons from 420 until now. For a moment, we can take a breath and enjoy Gemini season. It's going to be time for like pride. We're going to party. We're going to hang out. We're going to just going to have a lot of insights and collect and gather a lot of information about what others were up to during these eclipses. What they gain. They gained stuff. People are going to be wanting to share that. So let's all do that. And then by the time Cancer season comes and we're all like wet and like a little heavy again, at least we have enough information and we've decluttered a lot. So hang tight. We are rebuilding. It was from the ages of before until 2020, we were like this. In 2020, we did this. And so now we're learning to navigate a 90-degree angle. No one in humanity has ever done it before. And we happen to be the people alive at this time. So we happen to be the people who are building the AI laws for the first time ever. For humans in 300 years are going to, this is history. We are rebuilding society. We're redefining capitalism. We're redefining the workforce. We're redefining how we deal with communities. We are just focusing on the spiritual. A lot of people know about astrology. A lot of people have awakened. So it's exciting times, but we chose to be alive at a transition time, and this is what we're living right now. So hang tight and just know you're leaving a legacy for the planet in the future. And if you can think about it like that globally at the same time as you're dealing with your personal, you are ahead of most people, because a lot of people are just in the daily survival. And sometimes I am too. But if you can always, as you are like in the, oh my God, I got to do this and that now, I got to supermarket errand, la la la. If you can do that at the same time, you are also long term, 300 years in the future, 400 years in the future. I think that's where we get our new next generation of geniuses who are going to move us forward. So I'm excited, but it's not for the weak. Hang tight. It's going to get better.